As a history enthusiast, I tend to frame events and ideas in a historical context. For instance, when Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antonius wrote his 12 books of meditations, the Roman Empire was at its zenith. Marcus is known as a wise and noble emperor, the epitome of Aristotle's philosopher king. Based upon the Greek Stoic philosophy, Marcus wrote for his mental stimulation and self-improvement. Although these were personal writings not intended for public consumption, I suspect his intended audience was his son and heir to the throne, Emperor Commodus. Much like a student, children do not always appreciate the wisdom of their elders. Few children follow their parents' advice and are determined to learn life lessons the hard way. Unfortunately, some children will never understand the maxims. But ultimately, a child learns to value truthful wisdom based upon the parent's life experiences. Anyone who has lost a parent, grandparent, or other mentor regrets not asking certain questions or worse, struggles to recall the answer. Some mistakenly believe these truths or maxims are not relevant. The truth is often debated but always relevant. No one should be censored, demeaned, or shunned because the truth makes someone else feel uncomfortable. No one can control how another person feels. Everyone is responsible for his or her behavior regardless of the human tendency to project blame onto others while avoiding responsibility for themselves. President John Adams once said, "Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passion, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence." He said this in 1770 as the lawyer defending the British soldiers who fired upon a group of 50 colonists at what was later called the Boston Massacre. Due to the heightened emotion, most colonists prejudged the soldiers guilty of murder. However, Adams proved to the jury that the soldiers were provoked by the crowd before the shooting. The jury acquitted Captain Preston due to reasonable doubt. Adams successfully argued that the facts outweigh the emotion. He was most likely quoting a proverb, but his "facts are stubborn things" maxim still resonates. This book, Meditations for Modern Man, is broken up into 9 chapters: leadership, morality, logic, facts, liberty, criticism, character, education, and politics. Each section starts with a definition and proceeds with maxims I developed by being a loyal follower, moral leader, and compassionate parent. Because many of my maxims are derived from exposing a failure in logic, the most common informal fallacies that can arise during a discussion or debate are in the preface. For further information, search for Principles of Logic on the internet to learn about logical arguments, syllogisms, fallacies, square of opposition, and Venn diagrams. If this piques your interest, I highly recommend enrolling in an Introductory to Philosophy or Principles of Logic class. Alternatively, you can watch YouTube videos or listen to podcasts that dive deep into philosophy and logic. Although it is not necessary, a rudimentary foundation in logical reasoning knowledge can help the reader understand the underpinnings of most maxims. Ad hominem. Attacking the person proposing the argument instead of the argument. Appeal to authority. Concluding an argument is true because a person in authority asserts it. Appeal to emotion. Using emotions such as fear, pity, and flattery to persuade instead of sound reason. Appeal to hypocrisy. Disregarding an argument because the opponent fails to act per that position. Appeal to motive. Dismissing a conclusion by questioning the motive of the person proposing the argument. Appeal to tradition. Concluding an argument is true because it has longevity. Argument from silence. Reaching a conclusion based on the silence or lack of contrary evidence. Argumentum Ad Populum. Concluding an argument is true simply because lots of people agree. Begging the question. Conclusion of an argument is assumed in one of the premises. Cherry picking. Only using data confirming a particular argument while ignoring data contradicting it. False dilemma. Holding only 2 possible conclusions as options when there are other valid options. Post hoc ergo propter hoc. Reaching a conclusion of causation because one event followed another event. Red herring. Changing the subject to divert attention from the original argument being proposed. Slippery slope. Asserts that a relatively small step will lead to a chain of events resulting in a drastic conclusion. Strawman. Misrepresentation of an opponent's argument which is attacked instead of the original argument.